Thank you, Chair Rosenberg, and members of the committee. For the record, my name is Ben Downing. I'm the state senator for the 48 communities of the Berkshire, Hampshire, and Franklin district. And on behalf of the residents of those communities, and personally, I want to thank the committee for being here this morning and for your efforts holding multiple hearings across the Commonwealth and selfishly multiple hearings in Western Massachusetts. As some of the committee members will attest to, it's rare that there is ever a legislative hearing in Western Mass. It's far more rare that there are multiple hearings by the same committee in Western Mass, and that has not gone unnoticed. So I want to say thank you to you for your hard work on what is an incredibly difficult task. It has been remarked that a lot of the testimony that this committee has received has simply been to preserve the status quo. And I think it is irresponsible for us to do that. We need to recognize that the congressional districts will change no matter what decisions are made, as Representative Keenan alluded to. But I want to be here with my fellow colleagues in municipal, state, and federal government to make the case for why preserving 2 congressional seats in Western Massachusetts is important. And I think it's important to point out how those districts relatively ought to be constructed. I think it's important to have a district that is built around Springfield in the greater Hamden region to be able to meet the needs of that city, really the hub of the Pioneer Valley of Western Massachusetts. And I think it's equally important to have a district that is built around the small cities and small towns of Western and Central Massachusetts, like the 1st Congressional District is now. Why is it important to have a district that's built around small cities and small towns? Why not just lump them all together? As the state senator for the 48 communities that I represent, and as chair of the Gateway Cities Caucus, I will tell you that one of the things that I have seen in my brief time in the legislature, and I know one of the things that that caucus is focused on, is the fact that small cities in Massachusetts, especially those that are remotely located, have a different set of challenges, a different set of problems that require a different set of policies and a different set of tools to be able to address those problems. Whether it's downtown revitalization that Mayor Roberto is working on here in Pittsfield, or Mayor Alkenbright is working on in North Adams, or whether it's addressing the issue of access to broadband internet that Representative Kulik and Senator Rosenberg have worked on for so long and have done so much on, we wouldn't be able to be taking the strides that we are now without a member of Congress, and in this case especially without a member of Congress that works as hard and is as diligent as Congressman Olver is in trying to address those needs. For the other members of the committee, we are taking steps now to provide internet service to the unconnected communities of Western and Central Massachusetts, thanks to a federal grant that Congressman Olver was absolutely essential in securing. $45 million that more than doubled the state's investment in trying to connect those unconnected communities and make sure that we have economic opportunity, not just in the eastern part of the state, but across the state. We are starting to answer other problems as well, whether it's economic revitalization of our downtowns through investments in public transit and investments in arts and culture, or preserving a way of life in our rural towns by supporting our dairy farmers, by working to preserve open space, and by working to smartly and sustainably develop clean energy so that mills that were once shuttered can be reopened again. I don't doubt that no matter what the congressional representation is of this region, that those issues would be priorities for a member of Congress. I do doubt that we would be able to make the progress that we need to make in this area, in an area that's struggled with the economic transition and transformation that it's had to go through. I do doubt we would be able to make that progress if we had a member of Congress for which these issues were not their primary concern. We have been very lucky in Western Massachusetts and in the 48 communities I represent to have that with Congressman Olver representing the 1st Congressional District, and with a district that's constructed that way, knowing full well that the issues that affect Fitchburg and Leominster are very similar to the issues that affect Pittsfield and North Adams, affect Holyoke and Greenfield. So I know that the 1st Congressional District and the 2nd Congressional District, if they are preserved, will have to change. It is my hope that if they do change, that yes, we preserve Berkshire County in that rural district built around small cities and small towns, but also that we preserve that district itself and make sure that there is a district built to represent those needs so that those communities can make sure that their issues are being addressed. So again, I want to close by saying thank you to the committee for your efforts on behalf of not only the people I represent, but people across Western Massachusetts, for your efforts to get out and listen to them. And I'm happy to answer any questions. And I want to say, please enjoy your stay in my hometown, Pittsfield.
Thank you, Senator. Questions or comments, Senator? Seeing none, thank you so much. And now we have Mike Cass.